Hi everybody, Wendy from Cinnamon Sweet Shop. Today I'm going to be making a maple pecan log roll. Now my log roll is going to be a little bit healthier. It's going to be some reduced sugar, but you can use full sugar if you would like to do that. All of the ingredients are listed in the description box below. So what I'm going to start with is some sugar. Now the recipe calls for granulated sugar. I prefer to use my erythritol monk fruit blend. It's whole earth that I get. They sell it under other brand names in the store. Easy to get. Everywhere sells it, including Walmart even has it. They have all different kinds. So you could just get erythritol, you could just get monk fruit, you get stevia. They have allulose. They have blends of these. They're all pretty good. It's really going to depend on what your preference is. Then I'm going to be using some chopped pecan nuts, of course. I'm also using some confectioner sugar. So this is not real confectioner sugar. It's my whole earth. So I took some of this, threw it in my Vitamix till it became a powdery consistency, and I'm using this instead. Of course, you can use real confectioner sugar. I'm going to be using maple syrup. The recipe originally calls for corn syrup, but I'm using maple. That's why it's a maple pecan log. However, you can use honey, you can use agave syrup, any syrup you would like. Some butter. I use my Smart Balance vegan butter just because it's heart healthy, but you can use real unsalted butter. Now, this recipe does call for a little bit of heavy cream, and I'm using the heavy cream because it's just 3 tablespoons. It's not a lot. Vanilla extract, some salt, milk powder. This is a non-fat milk powder that you will need. And then, of course, some caramels. These are craft caramels, but they do sell sugar-free caramels if you're trying to cut down on sugar. The hardest part about this recipe was to take the plastic off each one of these. I have this pot on medium heat, and in it I am going to combine the syrup, the butter, and the granulated sugar, and just let this come to a boil. Remove from the heat, and then I'm going to add in the powdered sugar, the salt, the dry milk, and the vanilla extract. And I want to stir this until it becomes clumpy. It's going to take a couple minutes. Now, as this cools, it's going to thicken. It is pretty clumpy as it is. Now I'm going to pour this mixture into the pan. And I'm going to let it sit for about 15 minutes until I can handle it. Okay, so it's cool to the touch. I took it out of the pan. It came out easily because I did use the parchment paper on the bottom of the pan. It didn't stick. So we're going to cut these in 4 equal sections. Now you can eyeball it, or you could be anal like me and have to measure it out. You want to try and get as close as you can. So I'm going to start at the halfway mark. All right, got that. And then I'm going to cut each of these in half. So it should be 2 inch by 2 inch. Good enough. Even measuring, I don't always get it perfect. Okay, and then the other side, the same thing. Now you're going to cut it in half, crosswise. So I'm just going to flip this around. And then about that. Now I separated them a bit, and I also have some extra confectioner sugar just to rub in my hand so it doesn't stick together. And each piece is going to be rolled into a log about 4.5 to 5 inches long. So I'm going to put this on a floured surface with the confectioner sugar. And again, I measure. That looks pretty good. So then I'm going to take this log and I'm going to wrap it up in some parchment paper. I cut these in half just to make it perfect. And then we're going to freeze these. So you want to freeze these for at least an hour. Now you can make these a day in advance by freezing them overnight and finishing them up tomorrow. That's really up to you. Now, I laid out my chopped up pecans in a tray. I also have another tray with some parchment on it. And in my double boiler, I'm melting the caramels mixed with the little bit of cream. Now this is where it gets messy. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to switch. So I took 4 of those frozen logs out, and they're starting to get a little shiny. They're getting a little bit defrosted. Not a big deal. Just going to move this oven out of the way. So bring this pot down. So your caramel should look like this. You see how it's kind of nice and smooth and drippy? That's how I like to refer to it. So I do have one of these dipping tools, and I'm just going to put it through here. Just make sure my caramel gets completely covered. Just lift it up with a spoon and let it drip off. Let the excess drip. And I'm going to roll it into the pecans. Basically, I'm just going to throw some pecans on top. These are done. I'm going to put them back on this tray here. I'm going to move these out of the way. And there's the first log. And there's the second log. And I'm going to do all of them just like this. Be sure to smash that like button, share this video, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I'll see you all next time.